Washington is set to fully reopen in less than 1 week, and that means businesses will be allowed to operate at 100% capacity. Very exciting.
I know. We both have a big smile on our faces this morning. We do have Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward. She's joining us to talk about more of these effects and how it will have on Spokane and the reopening.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Mayor Woodward. So glad to have you here with us. I want to jump right in. You actually just wrapped up an interview with Governor Inslee yesterday. What did you two talk about, and what did he have to say about reopening?
Well, I got to talk with his staff yesterday. We have an ongoing call. We talk every other week, which is always nice to be able to have that opportunity to share information and, of course, get information from the governor's office. Really just trying to plan for June 30th. That's the day that the state fully reopens, and what that looks like. I think there's going to be a big celebration statewide, and we may be seeing the governor over here on that day. But for us, you know, as we were talking just during the break, how long and challenging the struggle has been to be shut down for about 16 months now. You know, that initial shutdown back in March was supposed to be for 2 weeks, but as we saw this pandemic really take hold of not just our community, our state, but the entire world, who would have thought that this far into it, we're just now talking about fully reopening?
Yeah, absolutely. Nadine, who do you think this reopening will affect most in our area? Maybe some restaurants, certain business owners? Well,
you know, our side of the state in Spokane County has really struggled as far as employment, because a majority of our workforce really is in the hospitality industry. And a lot of those jobs are minimum wage jobs where people are working paycheck to paycheck just to get by. So when things shut down and they lost their employment, you know, they were hit especially hard. Women we've seen during this pandemic have been impacted more than almost any other demographic. And so as we get out of this, you know, I see that hospitality is going to pick up because we're still at 50% capacity for restaurants and retail. That will be, of course, 100%. But also other areas. Tourism is going to come back. We have conventions now that are being booked in Spokane. I believe that there's about 24 of those. And some of the conventions that we're getting here in Spokane are conventions that have historically been held on the west side, and people aren't doing that kind of business there anymore because of the impacts the pandemic has had on bigger cities, protests that have been going on almost nonstop for the past year, and Spokane is benefiting from some of that movement over to this side of the state.
Mayor Woodward, I want to ask you, you know, we've been talking about preparing for reopening. What are these businesses actually doing to prepare, and what does that look like? And I guess what kind of support is the city offering to businesses that kind of have to navigate this reopening process?
Well, I think, you know, they're halfway there already because we have been at 50% for quite a while for restaurants and retail. And so I think they're in a position to quickly pivot to staff up even more. But I do understand that a lot of businesses are struggling to find people who want to work, and they're having to either pay more of an hourly wage, increase that hourly wage. You know, some businesses are offering new employees bonuses to come on. I've even heard of some businesses offering people contracts for more job security. But these are all, you know, considerations that a lot of our businesses are having to deal with right now. So at some point, you know, unemployment benefits for individuals who haven't been working will run out, and the bonus that they've been receiving on top of that will run out. And hopefully that they'll be compelled and want to get back to work, because we need people to fill these positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go, are there any events, city events, that we're excited about people can expect as everything reopens?
Oh, it's a little bit early. We're going to have something planned for next week that we'll be able to announce very, very soon. Just working out the details, but it's going to be a citywide celebration, and we're really looking forward to it. I think so many people are so ready to be on the other side of this. Granted, we still need to get vaccinated. We have a vaccine clinic open at Fire Station 9 today from 9 to 2. That's on the South Hill. So although the west side is about 70% of that initial vaccination, we have work to do on the east side. In Spokane County, we're only about 53% vaccination rate. So let's get vaccinated so that we can stay safe while we're fully open.
Mayor Woodward, thanks so much for joining us, and she will be joining us again over on the CW22 coming up in about 15 minutes.